Hello and welcome back to UIE TV. Please like and subscribe to channel to get further videos directly in your inbox.
Sir Alan Parker, director of Bugsy Malone and Evita, dies aged 76. Please watch full video and interview. Sir Alan Parker, the acclaimed British director of such films as Fame, Evita, and Bugsy Malone, has died aged 76. The double Oscar nominee's many other credits include Midnight Express, Mississippi Burning, The Commitments, Angela's Ashes and Birdy. Evita composer Andrew Lloyd Webber tweeted Sir Alan had been one of the few directors to truly understand musicals on screen. The director died on Friday after a lengthy illness. He is survived by his wife Lisa Moran-Parker, 5 children and 7 grandchildren. Film director David Puttnam remembered the director as his oldest and closest friend, adding, "I was always in awe of his talent." A founding member of the Directors Guild of Great Britain, Sir Alan was also first chairman of the UK Film Council and received the CBE in 1995 and a knighthood in 2002. BAFTA said it was deeply saddened to hear of Sir Alan's death, adding that his films had brought us joy. The British Film Institute, which Sir Alan chaired in the late 1990s, expressed similar sentiments. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences remembered him as a chameleon and extraordinary talent whose work entertained us, connected us and gave us such a strong sense of time and place. Despite not winning an Oscar for Best Director, his films won 10 Academy Awards as well as another 10 Golden Globes. Actor John Cusack, who worked with Sir Alan on his 1994 comedy The Road to Wellville, said he had been a great filmmaker. Born in London in 1944, Sir Alan began his career in advertising as a copywriter but quickly graduated to writing and directing commercials. In 1974 he directed BBC film The Evacuees, winning a BAFTA for Best Single Play, the first of 7 awards he received from the British Academy. In 1984 BAFTA honoured him with the Michael Balcon Award for Outstanding Contribution to British Cinema, and in 2013 he was awarded the prestigious BAFTA Fellowship. Sir Alan's last film as director was 2003 drama The Life of David Gale, starring Kevin Spacey and Kate Winslet. In 2005 he published Will Write and Direct for Food, a compendium of his often satirical observations on making films in the UK and US. In 2018 he donated his extensive collection of scripts and working papers to the British Film Institute's National Archive. According to a family spokeswoman, he spent his retirement indulging his passion for silkscreen printing and painting.
Someone once said, "It was raining brains. Roxy Robinson wouldn't even get wet."
He was among a small group of British directors who revolutionised the world of advertising before moving into feature films. Bugsy Malone was Sir Alan Parker's first movie.
By that time. And I'm looking down at all these people who actually time and that what it is. It's the most
before moving into feature films. Bugsy Malone was Sir Alan Parker's first movie, featuring an entire cast of children.
Because it's your first film, you don't realise how hard it is. It's the most impossibly difficult kind of film to do. And you'd never do it. I would never do it now because I know how hard it is. But when you don't know anything, you kind of do kind of interesting or more original things. And it was a really daft idea, but it's actually, it's lasted the test of time, and that it's still, they still wheel it out every Christmas.
How are you feeling about this fellowship?
It's actually pretty nerve-wracking, because in a way, first of all, it's the last thing of the evening, so you think everyone's going to be bored silly by that time. And I'm looking down at all these people who actually won things, it's different to be awarded it than to win it. So you feel a bit of a fraud. But, I have won things before where I've not been so nervous, but this time I am.
Do you have clear ambitions as a filmmaker? Is it because you want to tell stories, or do you just want to challenge yourself in other ways, or challenge an audience?
Well, the thing is that film is so... it's so different, there's so many different kinds of films, and when I go to film schools and I talk to young filmmakers, and I always say that because the technology of film has gone on leaps and bounds and everyone's kind of obsessed by the whole technology of it all, actually still it's not just telling stories which matters, but I always say you should have something to say, and if you haven't got something to say, I don't think you should be a filmmaker. And in a way, I think that's how I always thought, and I still feel the same way.
Now, British cinema itself seems to have found its own confidence. We've seen the huge success of the Bond franchise and the Harry Potter films. Do you think we've gone past that stage where we can say, oh, you know, British film industry is in a bad way, or do you think there's still things to be critical of?
Well, it's been boom and bust forever. We've always punched above our weight, really, in that we have fantastic actors, fantastic directors and technicians, brilliant technicians. And those brilliant technicians are the ones who make those big films like the Harry Potters and the Bond films. But are they British films? The indigenous British films are how you should really judge the strength of an industry, and it's really poor at the moment. And this government has not been very encouraging in that regard, you know, so I think that it's a bit of a confusion, and when you have confused film industry, then you don't get good work, is the truth. You're still going to get the Bonds and the Harry Potters. Well, you won't get any more Harry Potters, but the Les Mis and things like that, because they are actually the products of the American cinema made by British people, and I think that's the big difference. But an indigenous British film industry is just as far off as it ever was, quite frankly.
How excited are you by London as a city in terms of as a filmmaker?
Oh, well, London at the moment excites me more than ever. You know, I was born in London, I grew up in London, I spent many years away making movies, spent a lot of time living in Los Angeles. I don't know that I've ever known, this is the most exciting London has ever been, without a doubt. It is the most vital city in the world. And, you know, I travel a lot, and therefore, you know, I feel like I can make some kind of judgment. Of course I'm biased because I'm absolutely a Londoner. But it is such a terrific city. And you think, such an exciting city for almost everything else within all areas of the arts, then that should be reflected in film. Is it at the moment? A bit. You see James Bond is being made here, you know, it used to be made in every other country and every other place but London, but now it can be, and you suddenly realise when you see it on films how terrific it looks.
Since Bugsy Malone, the writer, director and producer has won a host of awards for his body of work, which includes Mississippi Burning, Angel Heart, Angela's Ashes and The Life of David Gale.
Why do they want me?
You're telling me you don't want the assignment?
No, I'm not saying that. I just can't see why a guy on death row about to be executed should suddenly ask for me.
Does success naturally breed confidence, or as a filmmaker, is there always a sort of a niggling of insecurity in your work?
I think the latter. I think that, you know, whether you're, you know, Steven Spielberg or whoever, when you start to do what you do, you always think, you know, is it going to be good enough? And I think that however much you've done, however much people tell you that you're quite good at what you do, you're really, really always full of insecurity, I think. I mean, I am, and I think that, and I know that Spielberg is, so I think between me and him and everybody else in between, we're all kind of scared about what we do.
It won't be easy, you'll think it's strange.
If you were to sum up how you most want to be remembered as a filmmaker, how would you sum it up? What would you like to be as your legacy?
I think that films ought to have something to say, and I've tried to say something within my films. I've made 14 films, and some have been liked by people, some have been successful, some haven't, but I'm actually kind of proud of all 14 films. I think in the end, I'm not embarrassed by any of them at all, and they were all made for the right reasons, so in that regard I'm kind of proud of the work I've done.
Thanks for watching Universal Information and Entertainment TV. Please like and subscribe our channel for more updated videos, news, information and entertainment. See you in next video. Stay tuned.